So, time for another Western movie review, and this one has a very young and angry Clint Eastwood in the cast list. Ambush at Cimarron Pass from 1957. The surviving members of a cavalry squad led by Sergeant Taylor Scott Brady are on foot after losing their horses in an Apache raid. With captured gunrunner Baines Barron in tow, along with a stash of repeating rifles he was about to sell to the Apaches, this small group are heading back to the safety of their fort, but are being pursued relentlessly and attacked from all sides by the Indians who want their rifles back very badly. En route, they converge with the remnants of a Southerners' cattle drive, a group of ex-Confederate soldiers who were also attacked by the Apaches and are in the same predicament, no horses. With the Civil War not long over and feelings still very raw between the two parties, getting along ain't gonna prove easy. But with many days hard walking ahead, the burden of heavy rifles to carry, and under constant fear of attack, they're going to need to set their differences aside and rely on each other if they're ever going to make it back through Cimarron Pass alive. Ambush at Cimarron Pass is a low-budget, thoroughly predictable little western that has a threadbare story and very sparse action scenes. At 73 minutes running time, it feels like an extended TV episode, and at times looks that way too with its low production values. What we do get is lots and lots of walking through dusty desert tracks and constant bickering along the way. This is a very talky western, and funnily enough, that's what probably saves it, as the meager action scenes are poorly directed and unexciting. The drama is not helped by the overuse of obvious studio set exteriors, which takes you out of the realism of the movie somewhat. The drama mainly centers around the rifles and there being a bone of contention between the two groups. The Apaches being only seen from a distance and faceless participants for the most part. But the cast are solid and try their best with fairly mediocre material. A top-billed Scott Brady as a trenchant demanding Sergeant Taylor is solid and gives the movie some much-needed dramatic energy. He gets support from a fresh-faced Clint Eastwood in a pre-Rawhide stardom outing. He plays a rebellious Southerner called Keith Williams, a name which doesn't seem to suit Eastwood. He's a young hothead who has a major chip on his shoulder about Yankees, and he don't take kindly to Sergeant Taylor giving the orders. Eastwood is only third billed here and doesn't get much to do but snarl and complain. No real hints of the superstardom to come here. Second billed here is Margia Dean, who plays a young woman they rescue from the Apaches. She causes pulses to rise among the ranks and flirts with Eastwood and then Brady, but she has little else to do otherwise. Other notable turns are Frank Gershel as the leader of the Confederates. He gives a strong, determined performance, very watchable. And Irving Bacon as a corrupt and cowardly judge who tries to find an ally among the men for his dirty dealings, another good turn. So good characterizations, Brady's strong-jawed turn, and the curiosity factor of seeing a young pre-stardom Eastwood save this western from being a complete waste of time. Nevertheless, a below-average auteur for definite that just about passes the time of day on a rainy afternoon. I give Ambush at Cimarron Pass 5.5 out of 10 Western stars. That's all for today. Thanks for watching and goodbye. Trivia. Apparently, Clint Eastwood didn't think much of this film, as he is quoted as saying, "Probably the lousiest Western ever made." A bit of an exaggeration, perhaps, but you get the point he was making, i.e., it ain't very good. But I've seen a lot worse in my time for sure.